At the time of recording this, Minecraft 1.21 came out today. Over the past year, more stuff was announced and added in snapshots, but with all this stuff comes a much more bleak beginning. I don't know how to describe it, and it entails the entire fate of Minecraft relying on copper. Half that stuff is not true, but let's just talk about why 1.21 will not save Minecraft. Back in the good old days of Minecraft, where every kid was either playing on their Xbox 360 or mommy's iPad, updates weren't yearly. They were every few months. Look at the wiki. It wasn't until 2017 when the updates became yearly, which is why the updates had more and better stuff as time went on. But during the Switch, 1.9 came out. Instead of spam clicking a mouse, you actually had to think about how to fight somebody. The next few updates were not well received, being very lackluster in their content until 1.13 in 2018. This is where the dark ages of Minecraft really faded away, especially with 1.14 in 2019, where many Minecraft creators made their start, blah blah blah, you know the rest. By the end of 2020, when the Caves and Cliffs update was announced, with all its insane new features, people were incredibly excited, but it was split into two parts. Those parts came within 6 months, but those two parts didn't even have everything. Archaeology, the Deep Dark, the Warden, and bundles and other stuff just didn't come. But it doesn't matter, right? The update was still well received, and the next year, the Wild update announced the Warden, Deep Dark, and a whole new giant structure underground, as well as frogs, mangrove swamps, and mangrove wood. They also announced updated birch forests and fireflies. Guess what? Same thing happened. Fireflies and forests weren't added. People were way more pissed this time around, and Mojang only announced things that were almost completely done development from now on. So instead of a bunch of stuff, Minecraft Live 2022 announced camels, hanging signs, chiseled bookshelves, and bamboo wood. Not great. Worst of all, they didn't have a name for it yet. This is when people were starting to get really mad, and this is where it got really bad. To sum it up, the people were angry that the Sniffer was shitty, the LA was shitty, the Glow Skid was also shitty, and I'm going to be honest, I knew people were blindsided by the LA. When it won, I got so pissed, but that's besides the point. People called the Wild update the mild update, and they weren't very impressed by 1.20 besides armor trims, which I think is the best part for a reason I'll explain soon. Overall, people were heavily disappointed by 1.19 and 1.20. I liked these updates, but it didn't improve the game in a massive way. They added stuff, but the game wasn't really changed. And that brings us here. The entire community was divided during the 2023 mod vote, which I won't even get into because it was an extreme nightmare. What the fuck? And once again, barely announced anything and still didn't have a name. People were making so many videos talking about how shitty Minecraft was, and it's not the same, to the point where more people made fun of those creators rather than Mojang themselves. 1.20 was very random. A bunch of stuff that didn't matter, and, like I said, didn't improve the game. Let's be realistic here. What made these 5 updates so good? Well, for starters, 1.13 changed the largest biomes in Minecraft, the oceans. Most people travel by ocean before getting Elytra, so making less land and worth exploring impacts the game heavily, as well as adding swimming, which, if you go back to any version before it, it will feel really old. 1.14 made villages an essential aspect to beating the game and thriving. They made the villagers and illagers feel so much more alive and added so much to the world. Also, this changed almost all the textures, and that was a major adaptation and change. 1.16 completely overhauled the Nether, a place every player needs to go so they can beat the game. So why not make it more worthwhile? The Nether felt so much more vibrant while still feeling like a hellish wasteland. So much stuff is essential from the Nether. And even though I don't like Netherite, it's something to get after beating the dragon, and after doing anything else. 1.17, 1.18 revamped the entire overworld. This world generation is more fun to explore every time, and the caves, something that everyone has to go through in the world, were updated. What do all these updates tell us? We need an end update. But they also show that updating something everyone does, something everyone experiences, something that makes the goals of Minecraft more interesting, something that impacts the game, is better. Does 1.21 follow that? No. 1.19's big thing was the Ancient City, which I love, but it's only really fun and useful once. Either you enter naked with friends, or you're covered in armor and shooting a blind guy. I love the horror element, but you can only go once. Trial chambers are the same thing. You do once, maybe twice. This doesn't change much to the overall experience. Is it an improvement? Yes. Trial chambers are great things to search, and they're really fun. A specific weapon you have to get, which is a new weapon after a long time, that first new weapon since the crossbow, and it has good loot like diamonds, emeralds, and new armor trims, stuff that's worthwhile. It's a really cool new style to fighting mobs in Minecraft. It brings the sandbox style of the original game and mix it with the dungeon crawler aspect of Minecraft Dungeons. They finally added hostile mobs after forever. Like, no joke, the last hostile mob added in one of these major updates was 1.16, 4 years ago, and I'm not counting the warden. They also added a revamp to dogs, which is something more people will interact with. They also added some music discs, and they slap really, really hard. Overall, this update is heading in the right direction. It's good. There's a bunch of new stuff that actually impacts the game, but it all relies on this one side quest. It won't save the drought we've been experiencing. Even if 1.22 isn't an end update, we are heading in a good direction if we stick to stuff like this. But let's hope Minecraft Live 2024 is promising.